slide, please. Right now I see quite a few people assigning themselves once they're finished. Make sure you're totally focused. Pins and pencils down, homework closed in 5. Track meet 4, pins and pencils 3. Track meet 2. 1. 0. I should have all eyes right now. I feel like I have about 80% from more people tracking these. Okay. So, now I don't know if you know this, but Rosa Parks was not the first in Montgomery to give up her seat. In fact, there was a 15-year-old named Claudette Colvin. And in March of 1955, many months before Rosa Parks decided to move for a white person, she did the exact same thing. And she was arrested as well. But unlike Rosa Parks, her situation did not spark the Montgomery bus boycott. We're going to talk today about what separated, what differentiated Claudette Colvin and Rosa Parks. That 15-year-old who was so brave that she was willing to get arrested rather than give up her seat, compared to Rosa Parks, a little bit older, middle-aged woman who did the same exact thing. While one started a boycott, while one didn't. For the next 3 minutes, we're going to go over the PDN. Expectation for going over the PDN is you're totally focused on the PDN. You're either looking at Mr. Franklin, the person speaking, or tracking your own PDN. So right now, as I look around the room, I see everybody has their PDN out in front of them. I have one person who can close it. It's an extra book out. Can you close that, please? Alright, number one. What event then started the boycott? Larry? Yeah, it was the Rosa Parks incident. Based upon the reading, what do you already know? What does it actually mean to when somebody boycotts something? You probably heard that phrase, Montgomery bus boycott, but you might not even thought about what it means. What's it mean, Tatiana?
A protest against something. Okay,
it is a protest, a form of protest. Who knows what? It's more specific than just a type of protest. You're right, but there's something deeper. Yes? Help? So it isn't maybe a type of rebellion. I need specific. What differentiates a boycott from, say, a march? From, say, a sit-in? Yes?
Is it like a strike? Like when you,
Close to a strike. A strike is when you refuse to work. Close. Nate?
When you rebel and that company loses money.
You're on the right track. A company loses money because... Why? Why does the company lose money? Brianna?
They lose money because people are not, they're not buying things.
Exactly. You're not purchasing or buying that thing you usually purchase or buy. So a boycott is actually an economic form of protest. You're protesting against a company. You're saying, I will not give you money if you don't change certain things. So it's an economic protest. You're refusing to buy something. Number three, what were some ways that angry whites fought against the boycott? Give me a way that they fought against the boycott. Larry? So they arrested African Americans? So that was a little later, something separate. Is that you're using PK for that? Okay. Yep.
The black people caught they arrested them and they bombed Reverend King and B.T. Nixon's house.
Yeah, so King and Nixon's house both got bombed.
And Martin Luther King got arrested for petty stealing.
Yeah, so they arrested Martin Luther King, who was seen as the leader of the bus boycott. We'll talk about that. Number four, how did black leaders in Montgomery eventually get an end to the boycott? How did they get an end to the boycott? Go on, with me. How did they get an end to it, Nate? Say that again. Anti-boycott law? No? No? Yes, the Supreme Court declared the segregation in Alabama unconstitutional. Alright, number six, let's see if you remember this. I'm skipping to six. How did the murder of Emmett Till change how blacks and whites in the North and South felt? There's a review from yesterday. How did the murder of Emmett... Okay. Can you wait? How did the murder of Emmett Till change things? Excellent. So Jacoby said they felt like they went too far, and African Americans finally fed up, said they were going to do what? Mark, help him out. Yeah, so basically it was the start of the civil rights movement. Go ahead and flip it over to the back hand side of your PDM, please. Flip it over to the back hand side of your PDM, please. Wait for a couple more people. Alright, your exit ticket scores were 10 today. Your exit ticket scores were 10. Write that as a denominator. Flip it over to your notes. We're about to start notes right now. Expectations while we're taking notes. If I ask you a critical thinking question, I want you to give me a full, thoughtful answer. I want you to give me everything you can. Number 2, you're focused either on the board or you're focused on what I'm saying. Number 3, when it's time to share, you actually share. Alright, go ahead and answer that critical thinking question. What does it mean to be the person who by law must sit in the back of the bus? What does he or she see and feel when sitting in the back? So what does that person see and feel while sitting in the back of the bus? Go ahead and write that on the critical thinking. Excellent. Meth is so focused. So, what is that person who has to ride in the back of the bus? What are they thinking in their head? And what are they feeling? They had to. They were forced to by law. Alright, go ahead and share with the person around you. Go. Share.
I said it feel like they like not welcome and they see like people that don't want them there.
Okay.
And they have trouble in it.
Okay. How would you feel?
I feel not welcome and I feel like people want to be judged, like they want to do certain stuff they want to do.
Would you do anything or say anything?
Yes.
2, 1.
What would you say?
Boom. Bring it back. How do you think a person who was forced to by law sit in the back of the bus, how do you think they felt? How do you think, what's the things they saw? Now I want you to make sure when a person's giving an answer, make sure you're tracking 100%. Janelle. One second. I want like college, high school, college, reactions and things. Focus so much on the lesson, there's no distractions. Because we have no time to waste. Stop. Go ahead, Susan. Relax.
I said that mean that they are lower class and they're also very showing like they wasn't important and they were probably getting tired of the same old thing or the same routine.
So they're getting tired of it, they feel like they're lower class. Yes, ma'am.
I thought they would feel special and safe. Like,
Hang on 1 second. I really want to point out a couple of things. Like Tashara tracked you right away, and she was listening. I could tell she was listening and respecting you by watching you and actually paying attention to you. So make sure that you're being respected before you start. So you said something that seemed a little controversial. You said safe.
yes.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not trying to be funny, but like, if a killer came on the bus with a gun, they'll kill everybody in front of the bus instead of the back of the bus because they'll like take long to get to the back of the bus and get out of the mercy. And
Okay.
my second thing is about being special because nobody else can sit in the back with you.
Well, actually, that's not true. In fact, actually, if the space ran out in the front of the bus, whites would actually get to take up those spots and blacks would have to stand. Marcus.